What's up, everyone? It's your boy Dave Gleckner at D Gleck from the Heat Ratio Sports, Fourth and Go, and all that good stuff. Last night through a wrinkle. We were out at Heat Ratio Live. Knew the Farmer Insurance was starting today, and it just got us off schedule this week. So Mark will join us again next week as we go to our regular scheduled Wednesday night platform. But I just wanted to hit you with a few quick bets that we have and things that we like, because you have still time to plug in those plays. Torrey Pines, the Farmer Insurance Open, the real golf tournaments start this week. The real part of the PGA Tour starts this week. Enough of these Mickey Mouse minus 35s and such. Enough of these courses that have no rough, as my boy John Robb said last week. It's a putting contest. Now the real golf is played. Now is a premium on ball striking. It's a premium on echelon skills. We're looking at so many different things here, but if you don't know, Torrey Pines is played out just north of San Diego, and I've been on that course. Luckily, that's the hat once, and South Course is just a fantastic test of golf with breathtaking views over the cliffs looking into the Pacific Ocean. They don't come into play too much, but what comes into play is course difficulty. Winds, obviously, very big there, and the rough and the length. This course, one of the longest on the tour, 7,700 yards. So they'll play 3 times on the South Course if you're lucky enough to make the cut. One is played on the North Course, much easier, must take advantage of that, must shoot at least 5 or 6 under, really to have a chance to make the weekend. So the North Course is where you really want to get your scores in line to make a run over the weekend. South Course, you got to prevail, as some would say. A lot of the cuts recently have been right around the -2, -3 mark. And like I said earlier, a 4 or 5 on the North Course will probably get you there. With that said, won't go over too much of the course stats. I will just tell you this much. Holes 11 and 12 are beasts. A long par 3 on 11, 12, the hardest normally on tour, uphill, par 5, back into the wind. The backside is off the cliff. People paraglide, do a lot of cool things back there you'll see. And but it's just hard because it's so long, it's so uphill, so into the wind, and it's a demanding shot with a wide green, not too deep. So it really gives the players, you can see a score well over par average at this hole, 4.5 likely. But then they freed up a little bit with the downhill par 5 after that, and where you get the opportunity to get a stroke back. So with that said, I looked at a few things, put it in the YouTube description there, but looking at some strokes gained approach, got to hit irons here. You're going to miss fairways, right? This is one of the hardest events to hit fairways. You're somewhere on the tour average here. At this event, 52, 53%, where normally it's upward 60. So you're going to miss them. You got to get back and play with your irons. You got to be crisp. You got to be a good ball striker out of this rough. It won't be U.S. Open style rough like it was last year, but it will be hard and challenging to get out of. Other thing I like, I'm looking at strokes gained, recent form, strokes gained total. Winners of this event have at least finished in the top 15, the past 6 winners in one of their previous events. So I want to see someone who's playing well. Patrick Reed won last year. He was 6th the week before this. So it does matter how you're playing going into Torrey Pines. You can't be a scatter. You can't be all over the place and try and fix it coming to this tough course. Another thing, driving accuracy, or what we'll say, good gains, good drives gained. How you put it out there, how long you put it out there, and where you put it out there is very key. As we said, 7,700 yards. You're going to miss fairways. We get that. I wasn't looking at fairway percentage, but I was looking at good drives gained, or similarly, you could also look at total driving, which does put in strokes gained off the tee with fairways hit. So those are my main ones. I'm also looking at putting on Poana. I'll put that in lightly into my model. But as I did that and I came out and I looked at some things, here's what I got for you guys. Winners. I'm going to look at Xander Schauffele here. He's a San Diego native. Been terrible at this tournament until last year. Been terrible at this course, I should say, until last year. Had missed 4 straight cuts at the Farmers Insurance, but finished 2nd last year, then finished 7th at the U.S. Open, which was played at Torrey Pines. He started to really get his game in shape. Maybe there was added pressure. Maybe everyone knew, this is Xander's course. This is a home course per se for him. So maybe it took him some time, but now he's figured it out. And I think Xander will be right there challenging all weekend. Give me another ball striker premier, Daniel Berger. This guy, he's been number 1 in strokes gained approach over the last 50 rounds. He is just so consistent. He played right there to the end. Just recently at the Tournament of Champions, Daniel Berger is just going to win multiple tournaments this year. And as long as I'm getting him over 20-1, he's going to be an auto play. And this week I can get him at 24-1 on Caesars. Another bet I do like Sung Jae Im. You can get him 31, 33-1 some places. He's just got to get off that Bermuda greens. And once he does that, because his iron game is so strong, I'm looking at some of his stats here as well, as he's been playing, 13th in good drives gained. He's looking at, 20th in stroke gained approach over the last 50. He's got the tools. He can get there. It's the putting that always lets him down. Now he's on Poa annua. It's actually his favorite putting surface, which is kind of odd because you don't get a lot of Poa annua greens. So Sung Jae's got a shot this week as long as he keeps his form up with the ball striking. And then I'll say last but not least, we like Luke List too. He's just coming up really high on a lot of metrics. You can get him plus 8,000 a lot of places. And he's going to be in contention. I like him better probably as a top 20 where you can get him plus 300. But let's post these for you real fast. Other one we really like too, Sam Burns. Sam Burns does it all. He's finished in the top 20 in his last 5 events. You're getting him at 25-1. So I think you have value in putting at least 2 units on each one of these plays, laying out 8 units on those 3, maybe sprinkle a little half unit on Luke List at the 8,000. And you got a good investment in a winner's play. Down here, and let's take off the bottom here, we got a few other picks we really do like. And we're going to see the other play. Sung Jae Im, top 10. So if you're not going to get him on the winner, I really do think he plays well enough to be there at the end. You're getting plus 300 on that. Like we said earlier, Luke List is actually plus 300 for a top 20. So think about sprinkling that in. Mito Pereira has snuck up on people, has really started to play some good golf over the fall season into this season. This will be his first appearance in the new calendar year. But look at him as a top South American. He's really got to beat Joaquin Niemann, which I think he can. He has the game for it. Plus 450, I think, are good odds. It's only really, to me, have to beat one tough challenger. A matchup for the tournament. We've talked Luke List earlier. We're going to talk him again. You're getting great value at minus 110 to go over Cameron Tringali. Cameron's in a lot. He has the length to compete here, but he's a mess around the greens. And one of the key stats here, you got to be able to chip and putt because you are going to miss greens. Like you said, you're going to miss fairways. You're not going to hit every green regulation. You got to be able to get up and down. Tringali, I think, is going to struggle there. List actually has a really nice around the green game. Just got to make those short putts. I think this one's a great value. And then I'm going to give you one from our boy Drums. He's swimming down the lazy river again. Found a top 20 he really likes. He was plus money week 1 when we were at the Sony. Last week at the Amex, his boy Wolf, bowed out a little early, but he's trying to get back, stay above that line and stay in the plus money. He'll go Tony Finau, who has played well here at Torrey Pines. It doesn't pick him to win, and I don't blame him because Tony doesn't close. He doesn't know what Sundays are. Well, what? They don't play on Sunday this week, too, so maybe he is a good winner pick. But anyway, he likes the top 20, Tony Finau, plus 130. So that kind of wraps it up for us in our picks this week. I did have a few DFS plays. I did like some value plays I'm playing this week. Kevin Tway, I think, can actually be a game that fits here. He's 6,200, so I think you got a shot to get some value with Kevin Tway. I've seen some other numbers out there. Taylor Pendrith at 6,800, another one that hits the ball long and does play a lot of tournaments, so I think he's constantly in form. I think some of those guys under the 7,000 mark there could be of value as we get towards the weekend. Hayden Buckley let me down last week, but he is a guy, he didn't putt well in Bermuda, but his stats are showing he putts a little better on Poa annua. I would also consider him at 7,200 to plug in. He's going to be low ownership after letting a lot of people down last week. We know he was on a hot streak. I play a little Hayden Buckley again too. Don't take him off your card just from one bad week. All right, that pretty much wraps up for the Twilight Right. Me, Dave Gleckner, the Farmers Insurance Open 2022, Torrey Pines. Can't wait to watch it. We got Wednesday through Saturday golf. How great's that? And it's West Coast, so us on the East Coast are going to just be able to watch some good sports all afternoon and into the early evening. So until tonight when we're on 4th and Go, and until next time, I'm out for Heat Ratio Sports.